Well, I'm first going to ask each of the people up here to just introduce themselves so we all know who's who and what your roles were in this film. And Lucy, you're the star.
All right, so are we here?
Just talking it.
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
No.
There? No? Maybe I'll use yours.
That mic hasn't been working.
Hola, buenas tardes. Hi, I'm Lucy Molina, and yeah, that was me.
Hi, I'm Elijah Molina Voltron, and I'm a speaker for Lucy Molina.
My name is Brittany Zampella. I'm one of the directors and producer of the film. And I'm Maggie Hartmans. I'm also a director and producer of the film.
Well, the first question on my script says, what inspired you to make this film? I think that's pretty obvious.
Yeah, it's hard to meet Lucy and not want to just follow her everywhere. We first got introduced to Lucy through Quinn Antis, who is here, an expert featured in the film. We love Quinn. She's a good friend of ours, and we were just asking her, how can we develop more of a passion for climate change? We both cared about it. I'm kind of newer to it, to the world, and was like, there's like a disconnect, and I want to be more passionate about it. And she started telling us about Lucy, and when Lucy took her and her teammate on the toxic tour that you got to see part of in the film, and as we're talking, we kind of just like jokingly said, we should make a documentary about her. She sounds amazing. And then we met Lucy through Zoom, and I think we both kind of choked up several times just hearing her story and what she's gone through, and just asked her, can we just follow you around and can we go on your tour? And she was just starting her campaign, and that's what kind of kicked everything off. So. Anything to add?
We're the same person, so yeah, same thing. We were super inspired by Lucy and what she was doing, and I grew up in Littleton and did not have a grasp of the severity of the situation that was going on. So it was me also wanting to share with as many people as I could, just share Lucy's amazing story and hopefully create some change.
Where can people go to learn more about what you've done and what you want to see happen?
Yeah, we have a website called agoodneighborfilm.com, and yeah, we have some postcards out back, so you can grab a postcard and get the link. But it has information on the film and where we're screening it, as well as some of the amazing organizations that have helped us along the way. So you can see who's doing what. There's already incredible teams of people doing work in Commerce City. So you saw Ian in the film. Green Latinos is doing amazing work. I think Cultivando and 350 Colorado are here. They're amazing as well. Thank you guys. And as you saw in the film, Emerge, if anyone else would like to run for office, there's just a lot of resources. We didn't do anything new. It's basically just a bunch of links to people who are already doing amazing work. So yeah, check it out, goodneighborfilm.com.
So Lucy, tell us what you experienced as you were making this film.
Thank you so much again. First off, I'm going to give glory to God. Always give glory to Elohim. Because I always really saw in the film, like, why did you choose me? And I know now, but it was very humbling. It was a very humbling experience. You have to expose your entire life when you run for office. And I know all my people that are running for office right now, and that have ran before and that are there. You got to open a chapter in your life that, you didn't plan to do that. So that's my family, my children's lives, my mom, a lot of my friends, my close family, the friends. So it was, but also humbling, empowering, right? To see, first of all, to see all of you guys here, and to see that this, the work that Brittany and Maggie have done is really important. I really hope that through this experience, or this, more people would want to join the movement or run for office, especially women, right? And women of color. Because it is very hard, but it is very rewarding, because you get to meet the best and the worst out there, right? And I do know that, and I've always mentioned, each door that you hit, every time you hit that door, it humbles you. Whether it's a good door or a bad door, and you saw me hitting some doors up on there, right? We have doors that really humble us, and when they're good, they love us and they want to vote for you. But there's also those that want to kick you out their yard, that they want to shoot you off in front of their. There's mean people that you come across to, but that also humbles me, right? Because then I think as I walk away, if I get elected, or if I still have to represent that person. I still have to love them. I still have to listen to them and understand their needs. So it's a really learning experience, right? A learning experience, humbling, absolutely, again, I will always say that, but I hope really my children, right? That my children, that I was thinking a better future for you, right? That all I wanted was to clean it up a little bit better. Mm-hmm. We have gone through a lot of deaths. I worked at Coelia London where we were robbed and my boss was murdered in broad daylight. From that moment I was like, what can I do to make my community a better place, right? What can I do to protect my kids from, that kind of stuff? And of course, the bigger criminals, subcourt and all the other environmental issues, then what can I do, right? So then I ask you guys right now, what can you do, right? What can you do? So, yeah.
That was beautiful, Lucy. The film just before this one featured women from the other side of the world, power of activism, and the one statement that stuck out to me was the young woman who said, I had a choice. I could either get angry or I could get active. And I want to tell you, we had about 280 films submitted for consideration in this film festival. And we had to work very hard to narrow those down to 90 outstanding films. And I hope you got to see a lot of them, or will take advantage of the opportunity to see them virtually next week. Before we move to the floor, I have to say, I got that message from so many of those films. You don't have to do something grand. It doesn't have to cost your fortune or your life. If you can just make a small difference, and if all of us can make a small difference in our communities, it will make a difference in the world. And with that, I would like to open this up to questions and comments from the community, from our audience here. So just raise your hand if you would like to share something, and we'll get a microphone to you.
Oh, those of you know. Sorry. During your campaign or during the production of this film, did you face any pushback from Suncor or any of the other kind of major, polluting companies? And if so, how did you deal with that?
Well, I did. Well, let me tell you, girl. Okay. I'm also now a part of the board. I've always been very active in my children's education as a parent. My first initial, there's an organization that is called 10, Transform Education Now. They were out there getting signatures at my King Supers in Commerce City. So if you're in Commerce City, you know what I mean. It's like, that's my King Supers. What are you doing here? And I pretty much escorted them out, right? Like, you need to go, right? So, yeah, I did. That's who I am. And because they're wrong. So I think, like, minutes later on Facebook, she started posting that I received $50,000 from Suncor. And it was not from Suncor directly. I did send Suncor an email because I thought it was them. I was like, whoa, could you stoop that low and partner up with these people to attack a single mother that's running for council? So for me, it was really the privilege, right? That she chose to slander my campaign right away. I do want, a lot of people did mention that would impact my campaign because it started really in the beginning. I don't know if it did. Well, I didn't win, so maybe. But so yeah, I did. As far as Suncor, they have. We don't talk much. They might see me on the news sometimes. They try to say they're the good neighbor because they're saying that they were forced to be the good neighbor. Where's the end? They were forced to be the good neighbor because now they have to send us these alerts. Now they have to pay up to do the air monitoring, right? It's not easy, but as far as this industries yet, they haven't really hit me up yet. But, I'm not scared.
Oh, okay.
If there's one thing that you would have each of us do after we leave, after having seen this, anyone on the stage, what's that one thing you would like of us to do?
I think, like Maggie mentioned, definitely go to our website, agoodneighborfilm.com, because we have a handful of organizations that are already doing amazing work. Like Lucy said, local elections are really important, and this is an election year. So making sure you're registered, voting, and more importantly, to Quinn's point in the film, call those representatives, contact them, contact their team, and ask them, what do you think about climate change? What do you think about the initiatives in Colorado, in Denver? Like, there's a lot happening, and you can go to those organizations who make it so easy for you to get involved in your elections, to knock on doors for people like Lucy and people who are campaigning. I think also just realizing that your voice does count. Maggie and I didn't know until maybe a year ago that, like, for certain bills, there are public testimonies, and you can just zoom in. You don't have to go to the Capitol. You can zoom in. They'll can sometimes give you a time that you're gonna be, and you have 3 minutes to make your case as just a citizen. And anybody can do that, which is really cool. And again, there's organizations that I know 350, there's so many orgs that can help you. They will give you a script. Signal Tech Coalition that Quinn works for gives us a script, and this is what you can say. So just recognizing your voice does count, and if one person's voice represents a large majority of the community. So making that phone call, knocking on that door, writing that letter in really does make an impact. So please go check out those organizations, contact your local officials and people that are running, and just don't underestimate the power of your voice.
Thank you. First, I want to say that was a great film. Lucy is a great candidate, and she had a great platform. So a follow-up, what can we do to help Lucy win in November?
What you gonna run for, Lucy?
Yeah.
School board or council?
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. I will, even there, right? Right now, for me, haven't announced yet, but I am planning to run again. It's very hard to decide, but I am now on the board of education with the kiddos, right? Where's my heart at? So I am hoping this year I will be running for the board of education again, because I'm already there. I will probably, maybe through the far side or the good neighbor, let them give you guys the information. That doesn't happen until August. So I would invite you back to Commerce City. Come and join us. Donate to some of our people that are running now. We have a lot of people that are running that are protecting our environment already. I would ask to support them as well. by hitting doors, maybe making donations. I will make my announcement later in the summer, I would think like in August they told me, but I will be running for the Board of Education again. Thank you so much.
We also have on the same website is info about how you can follow Lucy, or you can just email us if you want to get in touch and help her in any way.
Me? Okay, bravo. I met the Emerge group at Joanne Lopez's house. Were you there when she had that party, Joanne Lopez? That's why I met Emerge. And then I also had Emerge come to my house, so bravo for this beautiful organization. And then the Black American community presented on Vasquez, because this affects Latinx as well as Black American community members. I also want to let you know that the Boulder Film Festival is March 3rd to 5th. This is such a brilliant story, so please contact those people and get this into...
Unfortunately, we're not playing in Boulder. Unfortunately, yeah. But we're definitely going to have more screenings later on, so...
Thank you. And I don't know if my Emerge family is here, my Emerge sisters are here, but I do. I did do the boot camp with Emerge, and they teach us to run for office. And I do want to give a shout out to all my girls running for office, because it's not easy. And all my men, all my boys also that are running, like Ian is running, I know Lisa's running, Candice Yabaka. It's not easy to represent. So I do ask everyone to support these candidates, right? And give us even a call, a text message just to say, "Animo, you can do it." One more door, one more month. Everything means a lot. So thank you.
First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for this film. It was absolutely incredible, and thank you so much for all of your work. My question is I actually happened to be interviewing to be an air quality engineer at Colorado Department of Public Health and the EPA this month, and I recognize that those organizations are failing this community, and I want to ask, what do you have to say specifically to be as an air quality engineer if I do get the job? Some advice and some ideas.
Listen to the people.
I hope you do. I hope you get the job. That'd be awesome.
Thank you for what you're doing, by the way.
Yeah.
I just wanted to jump in here really quick. I'm Ian Thomas Tavoya in the film. I want to shout out the work that Green Latinos is doing and the work we've been able to do along side with Lucy Molina. I ran for city council when I was 28 years old. One of the youngest people in the history of Denver to ever run for office, and really in an act of self-defense as they were harming my community with industrial pollution. And we've had some real big victories. We said we passed the air toxic act there. We passed 9 environmental justice laws this last year. And we've been able to do it together. I want to let you know that report that we wrote, you can find it at greenlatinos.org/Colorado. 180 violators harming our community. It's important for you to read it. It asks you to take action in there as well. I want to just for a second talk about line 1. If you're not familiar with this, Suncor is applying for permits to triple its capacity to some point.
Not a good neighbor. That is not a good neighbor.
If you can imagine 3 times the amount of crude of this coming from the tar sands in Canada here, it's a carbon disaster. It's horrendous for our communities. We do have to fight back, and and I want to just shout out Lucy for also just acknowledging, I'm running to be the mayor of Denver right now because it's about the people in the planet. And we do need to show up for Lucy Molina. And it's like I said, 7 people for 4 hours every Saturday is the difference between these elections and these communities, and all of our communities. And so I do want you to testify at City Council. I want you to start with the state, but we gotta knock the doors and make the phone calls that we hope to take these corporate polluters on head on. And I want to thank the film people for featuring us. You featured us all in this, and it's amazing. Juan from my team, and Justice Isn't Charity, Educate to Regulate. Lucy Molina is one of the most fearless people we know. And Lucy, I wanted to ask you about
your fearlessness. I know that you're very religious, but I think you need to just throw some words down on us right now, because I sit in meetings with you where you inspire me, and so I think you should just give it to the people.
For me, really, I think, you know, Holy Spirit gives me the energy and my mama, the love. It's all the love, brother. The love I have for my family, the love I have for you and for all of you guys, it's the love, really, that makes us. And at the end of the day, really, to be, you think even as indigenous women, as Latinas, Pati, tú sabes, mija, my girls up there from Cultivando, we have to be resilient. You know, sometimes people just expect us to be resilient, right? So right now I just tell, let's love ourselves. Let's love one another, and let's love. Because if we do love one another, then we can fix stuff like this, right? We can fix and start from a local level, right? I want to save the oceans after I saw that thing. I want to go like the whales right there in Hawaii, and I'm like, I could well say we don't even have, you know, frogs in our lake. Y'all notice that? I haven't seen frogs anymore. When I was a kid, we'd be chasing the frogs down the street. We don't see that anymore. They're probably like you know, they evolved already with all that chemicals. But let's love one another. Let's love one another, and that is really the secret, I think. You know, at the end of the day. Gracias, Nicole.
Hi, first of all, incredible films, multiple. I love what you just said, that they even inspired you as the feature of the film we just watched, the one before. I'm curious because I feel really inspired by this medium for all of you up there, potentially all 5, but definitely the 4 women. If you don't have an answer, I wouldn't either. But what's the dream next step for this film? Because maybe there's some people in this room who can take the actions that push Lucy forward or that allow Farsighted to do more climate action work that inspires all of us. But maybe there's other rooms that this should play in. So what is the dream audience for all of you, including you, because I know you're an organizer here and I don't know about the film community. So I'm wondering the dream audience, and then people in the room think if you're the person who can get them in touch with this dream audience, or am I the person who can mobilize 100 people to spam them on social media? Like, what does that look like? So dream audience, and how do we get there?
Yeah, thank you. We would love to show this to as many audiences as possible, especially I think our goal was to show it in as many Colorado audiences as possible, people who could knock on doors and testify and get mobilized. But it is, I think, like Lucy mentions, it's not just this community. There are communities like this across the country, across the world. So we definitely this is our first festival. This is our big premiere. So thank you for coming. First time we showed it, and we just would love to keep. We're going to be submitting to more film festivals. We're going to be doing some private screenings, some impact screenings, and trying to get the word out there. So we're still raising money for the film to submit to festivals, as well as our end goal is to distribute it online. So we are trying to get that avenue, try to find ways for distribution and special insurance so we don't get sued. So if anyone... that's also on our website, the A Good Neighbor Film. You can also, there's a page that has all the impact, and we definitely want you to support that. And then there's a page where you can specifically go to support the film.
I don't want to keep you too much longer. I have 3 messages. One is, please fill out our survey either down at the desk or online. 2 is, we try and be a zero waste event, and I hope that you've recognized that and appreciated it. The 3rd thing I want to say is that my script ends saying, coming up tomorrow. Coming up tomorrow is in your hands. I applaud all of you for taking the time and making the effort to come and join us this afternoon or for any of the other events that we've had. And I hope that this is just the beginning of your involvement in some little way in some way loving our earth. Because that's what it's all about. So thank you very much, appreciate it, and thank you to all of you for making this wonderful film for us to wrap up our 17th annual Colorado